Hey folks, welcome back to another unboxing of the FPV Crate Sub 250 crate. This one is for the month of May, and we're getting close. We're getting close to having all the pieces to build a complete quad, and I'm kind of excited what's inside of this one. I don't know, so if you don't know and you want to be surprised, if you're waiting on yours, go ahead and just mute this and go do something else. Let it play through for the algorithm. But if you are interested in purchasing one of these, go to TweetFPV.com and you can purchase your own from FPV Crate. So if you want to get the surprise monthly crates, go ahead and go over there. The Sub 250 crate has been extremely impressive since the day I started. I was doing the large crates. There's a lot of fluff in those things. This is everything you need and no fluff. All right, let's head over to the bench and see what's inside. All right, folks, FPV Crate for the month of May. Let's take a look. We have a coupon code for 5% site-wide. I really wish I would have saw that earlier. Typical thank you card and a bunch of stickers. Nice glossy stickers. Pretty cool. And as always, we've got a set of props in here. 3 sets of props. These are the Hurricane 30 16x3s, 3-blade, 2mm center hole. So keep that in mind that with these T-style mount props and motors, there's different size shafts. Nothing standard in this hobby. I know, it's a bummer. This is a 2mm shaft. So 3 sets of those. We have a pre-done XT30 pigtail, and look at that. They actually did it right. A lot of these pre-done pigtails that you get from, various overseas vendors, sometimes are soldered up backwards, and you can have a pretty interesting little smoke show when you plug in your quad for the first time. So that is really cool. And what do we have here? We got a Altoids tin. What on earth is this? ZKFPV. Sorry about the Band-Aid on the finger. Been working on a car all weekend.
A few moments later. So
ZKFPV, I have never heard of them. Doesn't mean that they're good or bad. I've just never heard of it. That doesn't mean a whole lot either. There's a lot of stuff I haven't heard of. So it's an ESC. Obviously, that's like one of the things we were waiting for this build. This is a very interesting looking 20 by 20, but the dimensions are looking at about 27 by 35 millimeters, and the thickness is gonna be roughly about 8 millimeters. So anyways, pretty interesting ESC. Quite a few caps on there. Under here's all the FETs. Nice big heat sink on the FETs. I don't think I've seen a tiny 20 by 20 ESC like this, with this tiny heat sink on there. I've seen some with larger heat sinks, but the larger ones tend to cause issues with if you're going to do just single board mounting, where you're going to have this and you're going to put mounting screws on top of it, or you're going to have just this ESC by itself. The heatsink typically gets in the way of whatever nuts or mounting hardware you want to put on there, unless you're planning on stacking and using, the rubber standoffs and the bobbins and all that stuff. So it's nice to see that this is a minimal size heatsink. And there's your drivers back there. It is a pin style connection. Unfortunately, I don't see them broken out as pads anywhere else on the board. So you have to use the plug. If you lose the plug, you can always try getting underneath there, but they don't have pads specifically broken out for it. Power and ground pads on both sides of the board, so you have a little bit of flexibility as far as mounting, or if you're going to solder a cap to this side. Comes with a big old honkin' XT60, so at least you got some spares. A connector, and oddly enough, no capacitor. So I wonder if this is actually going to run well without a capacitor, because we didn't get one in any of the kits. Here's the specs on the ESC. It's rated up to 5S. That's kind of disappointing. I wish it was up to 6, but hey, whatever. 30 amp, 35 amp peak. No back. It's a BL Heli S ESC, not a BL Heli 32, but fortunately we can do RPM filtering with the BL Heli M firmware. 20 by 20 M2 mounting, another downside. I don't like M2, I prefer M3, but sometimes you gotta use what you gotta use, and M2 does work. I just prefer the size of M3 screws myself. And if you're looking for the size of the connector, it's a 6-pin SH 1.0. That is a 1.0 pitch. And there we go. All right, so that was the box for May. Pretty cool parts in there. Really interested to see how well that ESC performs. So this sub 250 crate setup has been going since the beginning of the year. So January, we had the T-Motor 1507 V2 motors. February, the T-Motor F7 Mini. March, we had the Lumineer Lux VTX. April, we had the qav-s Mini Frame. This month, we have the ZKFPV 30 amp ESC. So hopefully next month, we should be expecting the camera, and that should be the last pieces to finish building out this entire quad. I would assume they're also going to send a right-hand or left-hand circular polarized antenna based on whatever it was that you selected. But if not, that Lumineer Lux VTX did come with a linear antenna. So anyways, as always with these things, I buy two, one for me and one for you. If you want to get in on the giveaway to get a hold of one of these, check the link in the video description. It's open to anybody. You do have to cover shipping, so if you're not in the US, keep an think about that. Is this worth it to you? So as always, with these subscription crates, you have to ask yourself, is this worth it? Are you at the point with flying this hobby that you have all the stuff you want, but you just want parts, random parts, or just a random quad? $25 a month, it's not that bad. You do typically get more than what you pay for the crate inside of it, meaning the parts inside are worth more than what you're paying for the crate. Outside of the country, this may not be worth it to you due to shipping and import and all that other stuff if you got to deal with that. Myself, I do personally like the sub 250 crate. I have seen what's coming in the larger crates, although yes, I would like new t-shirts here and there. But there was a lot of stuff that I just didn't use that I would mostly just give away to other people. These crates are to the point. Everything you need is in here, and there's nothing extra. The nice thing is you do get a ton of props, so many props, more props than you'll probably ever use. So it does give you the ability to try different props without having to like actually select them and buy them. You just get a random selection. Like your buddy walks up and says, hey, here's a bag of props, have fun. It's kind of like your buddy handing you a bunch of props to try out. Of course, you're still kind of paying for them, but whatever. Anyways, so looking forward to next month's crate so we can get this build going. And again, if you want to get a hold of one of these for yourself, you can either let your legal tender speak for you, go to TweetFPV.com and click that FPV Crate icon and get yourself one and give your boy a cut, or go down to the video description and hit that link to the Google Docs and try to win one. I'll give this away on a live stream. More information come on that. All right, guys, thanks for checking us out. I hope you enjoy what's going on here. Let me know about these crates. Do you like this? Is this something that you could ever see yourself doing, or do you think it's just a complete waste of time and money? I know that both sides are very strong on either one of those opinions. Thanks for stopping by, and as always, stay positive, folks. Bye.